verse number 308. ततोऽहमादे विनिवर्त्य वृत्तिम् संत्यक्तरागः परमार्थलाभात् तुष्णीशमास्मात्मसुखानुभूत्या पूर्णात्मना ब्रह्मणि निर्विकल्पः. So as we have been discussing in the last verse especially, that our worst enemy is not in the external world, not outside, but our ego. Especially I have been watching myself last 2-3 days, how this ego plays the role in life, to be very honest. Even if you say, look, I am very humble, I don't want. But this fellow somehow, with its own logic, with its own way, will get into you. And the worst part is without your knowledge. And will make you to dance like anything. And on the top of it, it will say, hey look, I am not an egoist. I am fighting for justice. I am talking about myself, okay? Please. Not any one of you, please be honest. Remember, all these things are again nothing but the play of the ego. As I start seeing more and more, to be very honest, I am talking about myself. It is only the ego creates problem in our life. The worst enemy that you can ever imagine, that is my ego. That really one has to understand. Whenever I come across, whenever I create any enmity with anybody, there is ego. Okay, that means what, everybody can step on me, I can be. No, I am not talking about that. But at the same time, not necessarily that to create enmity everywhere. So there should be somehow the balanced life. That is not easy. That's why you can see, as you start growing or becoming matured, that is how the withdrawing oneself from sense objects becomes natural. Can you see this point? If the withdrawal process does not happen, to be very honest, you cannot enjoy. That's why we say, when you are young and strong, at least be a karma yogi. Can you see this point? When the mind is not settled, you must be a karma yogi. Not that, in the beginning you keep quiet, maunam. Then at the end of the life, you start trying to become a karma yogi. You understand? Trying to become a karma yogi is a waste of life. Means this life is yours, don't worry, next life you will have better life. That is assured. However, coming back to the point, when the ego is my worst enemy, and especially the example was there, it is like a thorn. So I wanted to enjoy food, whatever it food may be. So instead of enjoying, somehow that thorn has got stuck in between the throat. Neither going down nor is able to come out. Forget about drinking, eating, anything. Even if the air I cannot do shallow. The moment I do little bit shaking, it starts pricking. and it will prick in such a way nobody can know except me myself. Can you see this point? This is the most beautiful example. When the thorn starts pricking the throat, the pain of pricking, only I will know, not anybody. And it's so sharp, so strong, that my mind will not work anything. Neither I will be interested. I cannot talk. Impossible. I cannot eat. I cannot drink. I cannot do anything. Unless and until that that thorn is being removed. And interestingly, how they remove? In fact, they put the scissor or something like that, they cut it. They cannot pull it, nor they can push down, okay? You understand? They have to cut it, then after that they pull it out. It's nice. Same thing also, the ego has to be you have to make into pieces. The extension of the example. That's why what he says in this verse. He says, look, tataha, therefore. This is called understanding of ego. Because the more we understand ego, the better thing happens in life. As you know, we waste a lot of time and energy fighting with ego or along with ego or for the ego. As we discussed last time, like democracy was what for us in childhood, to get the mark in the political science, what? By the people, for the people, of the people. Who wrote, who asked, or who wrote? Don't ask me, okay? This much I know, okay? In fact, if you ask yourself why you are working, be honest. Why you are working? By the ego, of the ego, for the ego. All your action is exactly by the ego, definitely. There is no doubt in it. Of the ego, without knowing, for the ego. Can you see the people? By the people, of the people, for the people. Maybe the fellow wrote keeping this in mind, okay? Who knows? So he changed the ego to people, okay? However, so if you understand this, at the end of the day, what happens? We go nowhere. Tataha, therefore, ahamade vinivartyam vritti. As you know, that there are two types of vritti. So vritti means thought, thinking process. One is idam vritti, other one is aham vritti. So idam vritti means this thought, aham vritti, that is related in me or ego aham. And idam vritti will not have strength unless there is aham behind it. And when aham vritti is there, automatically idam vritti becomes powerful. So he says, look, what need to do? Ahamade vinivritya vrittim iti. So at least learn to withdraw the ego and its effect, its impact. From what? From the vrittis, from the thinking process. So in short, let my thinking process not be backed up by my ego. Can you see this point? Because moment the ego plays a role or interferes or enters, whatever, now all my thinking process becomes more strong. So that's why what is being highlighted here is, once you start doing it, how it will be happening? He says there are two purposes. You achieve two purposes. How? First thing is, you have to be very clear why you want to withdraw. Because if you are not clear what you want to, what is the reason that will make you to withdraw, you will not do it. So what is the reason here? He says Paramartha Labha. So Labha means to gain some benefit you need. So what is the benefit? Paramartha. As you know, Artha means generally security. So security means ultimate security. Paramartha. Because ego always works to secure. What is the purpose of ego if you look at? So ego's job is what? To secure you. Whether it is secures or insecure, that's don't ask me, you know better, okay? Yes, it secures from others but insecures for itself. That's the best why. It's like, all this, I don't want to ladies example, it doesn't look nice, boys and girls, okay? So, our parents sometimes, they isolate you from everybody, then finally they capture you. There are many examples, let him not get into. This doesn't look nice here. So here he says, Paramartha Labhat. So the ultimate gain is what? I want to be secure absolutely. Or you can say permanently. Absolute security is a permanent security. That's why Paramartha is also called God. Paramartha Tattva. That's why sometimes say Paramartha Seva. Service to the ultimate. So here he says, Paramartha. Then only what will happen? Once you understand that ultimate security, Paramartha, then he says what happens? Automatically, Samtyakta Ragaha, automatically double benefit happens. Raga means your attachment. Also Dvesha, wherever there is hatred. Likes and dislikes, insert attachment. You can go for it. So attaching yourself to what you like, detaching to the hatred means detaching the object of hatred, that is also attachment towards your hatred. So that is also another type of attachment, in fact that is serious attachment. Because the more your ego is stronger, the more you hate it. During love time, during liking time, your ego may not be that strong, but definitely during hatred time, your ego is stronger. In fact, if you come across a person who hates a lot, be careful with that person, means that person is more egoist. So you can see for yourself, whenever there is some type of hatred with anybody, with reference to anybody, anything, that means deep within you are an egoist person that moment. Because that is the job of the ego. That's why to catch how whether you are egoist or not, the moment there is hatred. And the stronger hatred, definitely you are under the influence of your ego in a strongest way. However, he says, Samtyakta Ragaha, automatically what happens? Now the person becomes free from, gives up, literally, from what he gives up? Attachment, because the person becomes free or once frees one's own self from the attachment. Because of what? Paramartha Labha. In order to gain the absolute security. Now because of that reason, automatically Tushnim Samaswa Atma Sukhanubhutya Purmataya Brahmani Nirvikalpaiti. Tushni means very calm. Because all our disturbance is related to It's an amazing thing happens. And in due course of time, each one develops one's own ego. And the ego is being created in such a way, what people will think. I am not weaker. Look, different ways. The ego will start advising me how to be under the influence of the ego. And the worst thing is, I will not know at all. Only when I am tired, then go to bed, go to sleep. Again morning, I get up with the freshness, okay, with a new idea, refreshing ideas to boost my ego. Can you see this point? And I do anything and everything just to boost my ego, including these holiday trips. What does this holiday trip mean? Holiday trip means just to boost your ego, nothing else. I'm sorry to say. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, would you like to go for a holiday? I said, look, every day is for me holiday. No, you are so tired now. Really, recently somebody very kindly asked, Swamiji, I think you are so tired, a lot of issues are happening in you, with you. I think you need a break, you must go for a holiday. I said, for where? For what? I don't need any holiday, you understand? Because holiday is another form of boosting one's own ego. Please understand this point. What does it mean, holiday? You want to be pampered. You don't want to be challenged. That is the purpose of holiday. Yes or no? You want to do whatever you want. Get up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or don't get up. That's better, okay? So, again, can you see? Going to sleep also makes you to boost your ego tomorrow, next day. So also holiday. So all your work is nothing but related to ego. That's why I am disturbed. So all my disturbance, please understand, all my disturbance is completely related not to the object. They may be the external cause. They may be the provocative factor. They may give, opportunity. But the real cause is me, my ego. That only creates all sort of disturbances in me. And the stronger ego I have, the more I am disturbed. Can you see this point? So all my disturbances, in short, is related to me, my ego, nothing else. So that's what he's saying very nicely. So automatically, once you are out of this because of Paramartha Labha, now Tushnim iti. So mind becomes very calm, Tushnim, serene, very comfortable. How? He says, Atma Sukhanubhutya. Generally, if you look at your ego, also wants to experience some type of anubhuti. What sort of anubhuti? External dependent anubhuti, experience. All our happiness, the purpose of our living is always what? External experience, in short called dependent in nature. Now here he says, look, you also need to have experience. What is that? Atma Sukhanubhutya, not Baya Sukhanubhutya, not external happiness. It is me. So enjoying myself as I am, free from any limitations, free from anything. Free from everything, better, not anything, free from everything. And what is that? It's Purnatmana, the Atma which is Purnam, as the infinite, complete, fullness, self. And what is that? That is Brahman in Brahman, Brahmani in Brahman. And what is that? Nirvikalpa iti. So Nirvikalpa means free from all sort of dualities. That means I need to work with my ego. Let us read the next. Samula krutopi mahanaham punaha vyulekhitah syadyati chetasakshanam sanjivya vikshepasatam karoti navaswata pravrushi barido yatha. He gives a beautiful and strong example. That is what, here this Shastrakara, Adi Shankaracharya, he doesn't compromise while giving the examples. So he says, because if you look at only example, you will not understand that seriousness. After studying the concept, when you look at the example, it's very serious. He says, look, yatha varidah, and that what? Prabhusi navaswata. How? You can see. We have a beautiful saying in India, especially in Garhwal here. They say in Hindi, Mumbai ka fashion, Garhwal ka motion. Means the fashion in Mumbai and weather in Garhwal, this is called Garhwal area, is unpredictable. It may change at any moment. You cannot assume. Why? Because Garhwal is in the hilly area. So wind moves, there is a cloud. So whether it's summer, winter, or rainy season makes no difference. Any moment rain may come. And how rain comes? Because of the cloud and wind. And of course the hills are there, mountains are there, so it hits automatically, it cannot go, it happens. This is simple logic. Now he says, this is the example he gives. Not only here, down, in rainy season, you discover sky is clear. It happens many times, okay? Sky is clear, so you keep all your dress on outside, for drying purpose. Then what happens? Suddenly, somewhere wind changes. And it starts, literally bursting, blasting. You do not know what to do. So how it happens? Which is not in your control at home. This is the point. So also this ahankara. Let us read. Samula krutaha api mahan aham punaha vilekhitaha sat. And of course he says, yadi chetasa kshanam sanjibhya vikshepa satam karoti iti. It's a very beautiful line altogether. So he says, how to look at? Samula krutaha api. Even though you can see, even though samula krutaha, even though this is an api, means even though means there is still slightly somewhere in there. 99.99, okay? I'm going to the extreme, okay? Samula kruta, completely rooted out, completely, let us say, removed or destroyed. What is that? Ego. Mahan aham, not ordinary one, okay? Mahan aham. The ego sense, which is very great. Who announces himself, hey, look, I am the great. Imagine, suppose a guest comes and announces, I am the great. What you will call? Imposter. Whereas this fellow, ego, every time announces I am great or not, not only announces, proves or not, and we accept or not. And we all work for that fellow. Can you see? So basically we all are working for the super imposter, okay? And whole life is wasted for that fellow only. What it? Do not terrible thing we all are doing it. However, he says, look, and remember, even if it is completely rooted out, means there is slightest somewhere is remaining. Punaha ullekita syat yadi chetasa. That too, kshanam, even if for a moment, if that gets revived back in our mind, then what happens? Sanjibhya, again it comes to the life with full force. And it comes in such a way, vikshepa satam karoti iti. And when it comes back, of course it creates vikshepam satam iti, hundreds of varieties of distractions it creates. It means, if you think it is being completely rooted out, but the one who is there, look, who is the one ego? I am no more an egoistic person. Who is talking? The ego is talking, you understand? And whenever that fellow gets a chance, and when it comes back, how it comes back, you know better. They say, a so-called humble person, so-called man of non-violence becomes violent, you cannot handle. Especially those who practice non-violence, they are more violent. History says also, okay? Indian history especially. But not written. That's the beauty of Indian history. However, so that's why. Then the example you can look at. The example is in rainy season, the cloud with the help of wind. You think sky is clear? Absolutely no problem. You can go out without umbrella. You can do many things. Suddenly you discover what? Suddenly wind brings some cloud and heavy rain. So this is the job of the ego. So if this is the case, now we need to look at how this ego is connected to action and our vasana and how life moves. There are few verses, let us read. Nigrihya satro rahamavo vakasaha Kochinnadeyo visayanu chintaya Saeva sanjivana heturasya Prakshina jambira tarori bambu Says beautifully. First of all, to manage, to conquer ego as our enemy is not that easy. And suppose you manage it. Again, managing for a length of time is not a joke. Because you do not know whether it is there or not. That's the sad part of it. It will appear as though it is not there. But suddenly, you will discover that it is fully intact. And he gives example of Jambira Taro. Jambira Taro means one type of citron tree. Even if also lemon tree also you can look at, no problem. Generally, if you look at lemon tree, also you can make out. Suppose you don't pour water in that tree. There is no water at all. You will discover that as though it is dead. There will be no leaf, nothing. And the external part, it will be exactly like as though dead. Especially in, I have seen in like, in Italy and other things, in winter, like as though all dead lemon trees are standing. So you'll see, oh, all are dead. Or orange tree, all this, completely no leaf, nothing will be there. Zero. So dead, as though it is dead. But here example is in a dry place also completely dead. Because you don't pour water, nothing. Now what happens? The example is, the moment you pour little bit water, you will discover the tree will be alive. Sometimes if the tree is not alive, from the root another, sapling will come up and will be another tree. That's the sad part of it, or good part of it, okay? But in example case is good part, but the example that is going to communicate, that is sad part, okay? So even if it is completely dead, I am giving the extreme example, okay? The moment you pour water, you will discover from the root, again the plant will come up, not only one, few. You do not know what to do, how to handle them. I have seen it very carefully many times, okay? That's why I am trying to share it with you all, okay? And sometimes it happens also when too much water is there. Suddenly, then after that when everything dries, then you will see plant will die, but from the root many plants will come up. Now he says, the other one, no water at all, how it happens. Same thing also he says, Nigruhya satro aham avakasa kochit iti. So Nigruhya sato aham iti, first. Let us say you are completely withdrawn yourself. Complete. Means you know how to manage, how to handle, how to conquer, how to master your ego. So having done that completely, and with that satru, the enemy, this is of course aham, this ego. Now what happens? Okay, I have done my job, now let me rest. And who is that me resting? So who is that me? That me is ego. Can you see this point? I did all the job, now let me rest. So the moment you rest, avakasa kochit, at least for a few seconds, what happens? Then he says, look, avakasa kochit na deya iti. Don't give any more rest. People say, I am tired. Swamiji, always you put me in discipline. When I am in front of you, always I have to be on my toes. And this is what life is. You understand? So if you cannot be on your toes, please get lost. Whether you be on your toes, on your head, or in somebody's head, okay? That is your problem, not my problem. How? Then what happens? Automatically, if you give little bit space to this fellow, then what he does? Vishaya anuchintaya, it will get engaged, again reuniting itself in the sense objects. Very carefully, aham will get into sense objects. Actually, it's not, I am not interested. Actually, that person was telling like this. What does that person say? What is your problem? So you start with that, from that becomes this, from this becomes me. Can you see this point? Very careful this fellow does, okay? So he says beautifully, Vishaya anuchintaya saeva sanjivana hetu. And of course, once it starts thinking and you do not know, you start appreciating, yeah, beautiful weather, true. So you start appreciating, then you get carried away. Once you get carried away, that fellow becomes alive, revive itself. So once it revives itself, you know what happens. Can you see how this ahankara plays a big secret hide and seek role with all of us? And that's why one has to be very careful. And because of that reason, we look at the Shastra again and again, because Shastra is a mirror. To be very honest, that's why when I am looking at this text, I am enjoying more. Because for me, it is a mirror. I am looking at my mirror, hey, where am I? Where is my ego? Even if while talking, I am looking at my ego, hey, you think that you can hit your ego in front of everybody. Hey, you are very smart, huh? Look, that means also still there is something. It's not a joke. It has got its own, mechanism. And how it functions, really it is something amazing to observe. That's why at least, let me not allow my mind to be disturbed by my ego. That's the most important point to take home today. Let me not allow my mind to be disturbed by my ego. At the same time, I have to function. I cannot completely withdraw. Because as long as body, mind, sense organs are there, I have to work. If nothing to do, at least I have to swallow the food, okay? If my prarabdha is so good, food will come, everything will good, come, people will take care of me, everything. But even if they feed me, okay, I don't have to eat, okay? Even if they feed me, I have to swallow it because they cannot make me to swallow. You understand? If this minimum thing that swallowing is to be done by me, that means why not me do better things in a better way? While looking at, observing the ego, resolving the ego with the knowledge. We'll see more of it tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.